I'm Chaplain George, and I work in the Orange County Jail System. We have a testimony meeting at a Wednesday afternoon at the Intake and Release Center. During the service, about 8 women came in, and this woman sat in the front row and immediately put her head down and didn't even raise her head for the service. This woman had been a heroin addict for 5 years, had been living on the streets as a prostitute, had many issues that she was dealing with, and just really wanted to have a transition in her life. She asked for a Science and Health, a Bible, and for a chaplain visit. You know, we would focus on the idea of really controlling your thought, really keeping an eye on what are you taking in. You know, if it's an angry thought, if it's a resentful thought, how can you turn that around and think of something good? In the Bible, in Philippians, where Paul tells, you know, whatsoever things are good, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are honest. Well, we read that citation many times and talked about those are the thoughts, that's what you should be thinking of, and not allowing a negative or impure thought take hold. And again, over this period, she had several, she would discuss reconciling with a bunkie that had been difficult, or just having an experience where she felt a little sense of God's presence. Well, she was released, and she was so grateful for, I know in our last visit, she was so grateful for this transformation in her character. And I was very surprised. The story doesn't end there, because a couple of months later, I see a message slip that she had been re-incarcerated for some minor offense, and she wanted a chaplain visit. Well, first I was very surprised that she was back in jail, and on the first visit she was smiling. She said she had committed a minor offense. She'd be in there for a very short time, maybe 30 days at the most. But most importantly, the deputies recognized her because she'd been on heroin before, and she had been taking meds. And then when they offered her meds, she said, "No, I don't need, I'm completely free." And she'd been free. She felt that through her study and prayer of Christian Science, that she felt God's love had healed her, and she was so grateful for this. And she had not returned to prostitution. She was totally free of her desire for drugs of any kind. So maybe that was why she came back to tell me. I don't know, but she was so grateful for what she had learned, and I was just quite grateful that this prison outreach that we have can touch so many lives.